live TV, first channel, Australian first channel, live TV, national TV,
Done.
national TV
1-0.
watching.
It was 1-0, yeah.
1-0.
We need a spray.
How long you are in sport?
Oh my God, I got
6 years I've been in the sport. So just before I turned, like a month before I turned 28, I found the sport, and I decided I wanted to be an elite. From day one, I knew I wanted to be elite.
I remember watching like first YouTube blogs or YouTube videos from you, and I was thinking like, what's this Australian newbie is doing? Talking about things which he's not understanding, like
Yes.
huh? And if you're watching now about those videos you
I agree.
done before.
Yeah, I had no credibility, but I just put myself out there anyway, and I used that as like a process to learn faster. But I wanted it to be a career as well as to be an athlete.
Can you talk and hold?
Not really well.
Do you feel my
So I've lost my train of thought now. You just distracted me. Oh, there we go. But yeah, what was I saying? I wanted it to be a career as well as an athlete. So content for me was the platform, the avenue towards making, because I knew that as an athlete alone there wasn't prize money, especially in Australia. So I had to create a business.
But now we are 6 years later. You are like newbie now from Australia who don't understand a thing about arm wrestling, and right now we are in John Brzezink's house in Arizona, backyard of John Brzezinck, like greatest arm wrestler of all time.
It's pretty cool. Hey?
Yeah, it's a big step forward.
The amount of things that have changed in the last 12 months. Like 12 months ago was the first time I came here and met John and Travis as well, and I couldn't have predicted how much has happened in 12 months, but so much has happened, and it's been a very much an exponential growth period. Like the first 5 years of me creating content and trying to build a business, virtually nothing happened. But I was that annoying Aussie that was really loud on Facebook that everyone saw. And that was actually the reason why Travis invited me here. He said he needed help promoting his event, and he's like, I don't know, every time I open up Facebook, all I see is you. So I want you to help me promote.
That's some good impression of Travis.
Yeah, and so it was on the back of that, and then he said to me, oh look, you can stay with a few guys, I know this guy, that guy. He goes, and just joking, he's like, man, even John Brzezinck lives down the road. so I messaged John, and John being as hospitable as he is, he said, yeah, sure, come
Okay,
on.
but if we're not talking about like promotion, but you as an athlete, yesterday you had a great day, probably best day in your career.
Yeah, best win by far.
Best-
Beating Dan Mosier was something.
At first, before then.
Well,
Before
Dallas was my super match. It was coming here. He'd just beaten Paul Talbot. He was.
Yeah, Paul Talbot is a big name in involved in USA arm wrestling.
Yeah, and Dallas was. I think prior to today, my stocks against Americans was very low. I was 0-12.
Yeah. If I had to bet, I would put on Dallas.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And a Mosier.
And the motor, yeah.
And against Dallas, I felt great. And I've been training with Todd Hutchins. He's kind of woken up a few fundamental strengths for me in arm wrestling that I never used to focus on. And that felt great against Dallas. But yeah, the win against Dallas, and then Dan just came about by chance with the teams event, and that was the icing on the cake. I didn't even know that I had that in me. I actually expected Dan to beat me, but I thought, well, give it everything. I knew his angles from my previous super match. And after the go,
because you had a super match with Daniel 6 months ago.
November, not even
6-7 months ago.
November last year, and yeah, he crushed me 6-0. And although there were micro moments of stops, I had lost my wrist and there was nothing. This time, yeah, I didn't know what was going to happen with the go, and don't move, ready, go. My hand didn't move any further than that, and I was like, all right, it was exciting. So yeah, and then in the strap to be able to pull through and press. This weekend was actually the first time I finished matches with a press, so that was exciting for me too. That was like an indicator of my connective tissue maturing to the level it needs to be at, because I've never been able to press. So to be able to press through Dan's King's move and finish Dallas with a press, it was cool.
Yeah, we should do some fight before
Yeah.
Next question.
Alright.
You can start. in front of Latvian national channel 1.
Oh, shh. Strap it up.
Do you
Strap it
feel
up.
that back pressure?
That feels horrible. Your hand feels horrible. Your hand is. I feel like you are in amazing form right now. I'm in a net. I'm strapped. You just relax.
You just hold. You just hold.
Yeah, but
It was warm.
yeah. Let's
But do you still? Or okay, it's not like still, but how far you see like to be elite arm wrestler, or you already feel like you are in
No,
elite?
I don't feel elite. I don't feel elite. I feel I feel like I'm still just. I call myself emerging pro.
Yeah.
That's enough.
No, tighter, Latvia, tighter.
But you just beat 2-0 Daniel Moser, who's a top-rated arm wrestler, or one of top-rated.
I think I need to do it a couple more times with other people before I'd call myself elite. I feel like it's close, but I'm happy with just if the world's happy to call me a pro, I'm happy.
What's most important? Wrist, hand, back pressure, or side pressure?
Well, from
What's not enough to beat me here? What's not enough?
my hand is going. My hand is going right now. My cupping and my chopping can't handle what yours is, and therefore I can't separate you from.
But did you say that? Hold here.
Yeah.
Where I'm beating you. Hold.
Yeah. To me, your cupping is turning me palm up. That's the first thing that happens. I'm going palm up, and then I'm coming to yours.
But I can do differently. Hold here.
Yeah.
Hold. I don't feel it. Hold.
So you're having life masterclass.
Okay.
Yeah. so
This
that's
is not an interview.
That's an arm wrestling. Like if you're talking about one direction,
Yeah.
you can do back pressure. You can go side pressure. You can
You can do it all.
and you can press. And if you can do all those moves and be effective.
Yeah, you can counter punch. I mean, I believe in countering. I'm not someone who comes with an A game of just like get out of my way, here it comes. I like to, and you'll see it in my recent matches. I've lost my opening round
Against Dallas.
against Dallas,
Yeah,
also
but-
against Evan Burgoyne.
You
from
heard what I said
Canada.
about your first round with Dallas? That for first round.
I use different strategy.
Yeah, that's a thing. Like if you go to competition, never experiment. It's not
at the start,
experiment.
at the first.
Experiment is a workout, training time, sparring time.
Well,
experiment.
it wasn't an experiment. I thought I was going to win using that strategy.
Do what you used to do, and
I set up the first one. I set up with Dallas like this,
Yeah.
and I got it tight, and I wanted to stop him there.
Yeah.
And when I knew he was going to drive, and I wanted when he dropped to come out of his shoulder.
Yeah. So at first you thought you were Todd Hitchings, and then you remember
You're Ryan Bowen.
where you are strong,
Yeah.
and you are strong at your.
I actually think I'm pretty strong in Todd's angle. Like I don't know. Like, although you're just bullying me now, but here.
They love me.
If the strap is tight and my hand doesn't
At
go,
this. If you would get here, but I'm not
Yeah.
here, and I'm,
We just tighten
I'm
the
away,
strap again.
and I'm away from my arm, and angles are open, and rotator is. That's it.
Yes.
I'm
so you go for a Dallas angle now. I might be able to. Well, yeah. So from there, if you dropped, I feel like, and that's kind of how I beat Evan Burgoyne as well. I got here on him,
Yeah.
and then ended up over here.
Yeah, that's much better. That's much better.
But often first stop. So your back pressure too strong for my low hand cupping
Yeah.
there. But anyway, I still think I could beat you if we were fresh.
Yes. That's
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And in sport, you have to believe in yourself.
Yeah.
That's very important.
Yeah.
That's very important. And that's one of like most things I really appreciate in you, that you believing in yourself. You are dreaming
looking
big.
for that challenge.
You're dreaming really big about your career, about overall arm wrestling future.
Yeah.
About like, you have really goals, aims in the sport, and also goal aims in a for the sport as arm wrestling, and that's really important.
Yeah,
we all have to dream big.
And you pursue them hard.
I do.
Not like just doing it.
Arm wrestling's a second chance for me. I tried to become an elite tennis player and failed.
I know.
Arm wrestling was the all right, get rid of all that psychology of being scared and just know that there's a process. Just embrace it. And when I got to that point, it actually became in my mind. It feels inevitable. It's just like just got to walk the path and it'll happen. So it's exciting to. Like I said, I feel like my strength maturing. It's exciting to be at a point where I can beat the Mosiers of the world. It's like, oh, this is cool. It's getting closer. I can see the goal. It's like over there now, which I want to be able to call myself a world champion. Who knows what league it'll be in? There's so many these days. But if I'm just respected, if I'm in the debate globally as to who's the best at this weight,
We're talking who's the best about 90 kilos?
if people say that's success. That's for me where I want to get to. So
we can change a topic like who is number one right arm wrestling in the world right now? No weight class. Levan, Dave.
There's three that I'm not sure about. Levan, one of them, Vitaly Leighton, and Michael Todd.
Michael Todd.
Yeah. Michael Todd, after the way he demolished Chaffee, I think he's gone up a notch.
What about Dave Chaffee?
No, not the way that he looked lost to me. Yes, he's strong against other people. He's great, but he looked lost, and I think that his stocks have dropped a bit. But he'll come back. But
when possibly we will see number one in a world arm wrestler from Australia.
It's right there.
at any weight category?
Yeah.
Anyway,
I might.
Like in next 3 years, 5 years, 10 years.
I think there's about 5 people in Australia that are genuinely chasing that. There's a few that are kind of half-heartedly chasing it, but 5 genuines. I think that Australia, in that 3 to 5 year range, is going to be right there. Will it happen? Like, I'm going to say the names. I think myself. I think Danny Tesh. I think Lachlan's hungry, but he's got to come down from supers. I think he's a 100 kilo guy.
Yeah, he could be. Yeah.
Jordan Davis. They're the ones really pushing really hard. And one of them might do it. Jordan at 80 kilos he's horrible for me, and he's only 80 kilos. So, but yeah, I think 3 to 5 years. And
was yesterday's event success in your opinion?
Yeah, yesterday's event for me was great. Not only as an arm wrestler, but as you guys know, I'm trying to get the sport to grow, and I feel like we're at such a good time. And yesterday was, for me, the best event that I've been part of coordinating, and you guys being here made a big difference.
If you're coming back again about arm wrestling in Australia, a few years ago, I think majority of world thought that it's like lightweight difference between Europe, USA, and Australia.
Yeah.
Nowadays, I think Australia up there. That's a level already. It's a world level. You, Danny Tish, already really big wins yesterday. Lachlan competed so good with left arm. So I think the world is much bigger and much closer than we think before.
Devin put it well. He said that the world became aware of Australian arm wrestling whilst we were still in our infancy because we were really loud on social media.
Yeah.
And so it was very true for the world to look at us as very junior. But we're just starting to mature into our strength now, and the guys that are fully committed are finally starting to arrive. So you'll see more and more from Australia.
Yeah, about pound per pound championship and Unleash. What's next?
Pound for pound arm wrestling.
Europe.
Arm Fights Unleashed, the brand of that, being able like creating it, like the whole story was, I'm not trying to be like a WAL or another PAL or anything like that.
Yeah.
The business of Pound for Pound was all about just spreading the word of arm wrestling, and I needed something to talk about. So I created Arm Fights Unleashed so that I could talk about something between WAL matches and PAL matches and that. But it's starting to actually be its own little brand, and it's cool to be able to be in Europe, With you guys, I know, coordinating potential matches. US with Travis is fantastic. Myself in the Southern Hemisphere, we're starting to get more runs on the board.
For those who don't know, it's very possible that soon we will see in Europe and most likely in Latvia and Riga.
I would personally love to come to Latvia, pull an Arm Fights Unleashed card. I didn't know who against, but I'll let you guys pick my opponent because you guys probably know the best. But
we will figure out how much we like you.
Maybe Vlad Destroyer.
Maybe Ryan something.
Maybe Ryan.
yeah, I don't want to pull Ravens. His angles feel horrible to me. I don't like that at all. But yeah, I would love to come to Latvia and pull an event and just experience European arm wrestling, because it's, from the Australian perspective, it's something different about European arm wrestling. It's a different breed of thing, but it's nice seeing it come together and clash. I think Europe has so much more depth. American arm wrestling has a lot of legends, but not as much depth. So I think it's the formula of Europe is very interesting, and I'd love to learn from it. So
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, pleasure, man. Good play. You feel amazing. I need to
try one more time.
Yeah,
and
try one more time.
See you in maybe you and me in Riga.
Yeah. I would have a match.
Format.
As you said, fresh, you would take it.
I would love it. Yeah. You
best of three, best of five.
6 rounds. 6 rounds. 6 rounds. You
So
and
it
me.
could be 3-3 and rematch in Brisbane.
Oh my goodness, that would be crazy. Thought I'd try something sneaky. Too strong. Thanks, guys.